Record-setting attendance at the Antique Snowmobile Show and the untimely death of Kobe Bryant.
Later, I'll be back with weather and sports with Ross Ray. Hi, I'm Joseph Sigourney.
And I'm Ross Ray, and welcome to Public Eye News. Rapid River had a breaking attendance for the snowmobile show and swap. Rapid River had close to 200 snowmobiles on Main Street Saturday afternoon, with snowmobiles dating back to the 1920s. The event was hosted by the Rapid River Relic Riders and Rapid River's Lions Club. Also, a record of 300 snowmobiles took part in an 18-mile group ride on Friday night. And speaking of snowmobiles, if you're looking to get onto your snowmobile this week, trails in the eastern UP have reopened. The trails were closed due to a late December storm where ice and snow covered the eastern region of the Upper Peninsula, snapping power lines and breaking tree branches, leaving trails to become impassable. But the DNR and snowmobile grant sponsors worked together tirelessly to clear the trail and are happy to say the trails have reopened.
Berglund held its 10th annual Iceman tournament over the weekend that attracted ice fishermen and women from all across the UP and neighboring states as well. The tournament was held on Lake Gogebic, and the participants spent Saturday and part of Sunday out on the ice competing to catch the biggest fish. The tournament boasts $2,500 in cash and raffle prizes, with many prizes being donated from local businesses. Iceman is a unique tournament because part of the proceeds goes towards a scholarship for local students. Because of the increased popularity and use, the Michigan DNR is considering making the primitive boating access site at Silver Lake Basin in Marquette County accessible as a walk-in only facility. George Madison, the DNR fisheries manager on the issue, said, quote, "This lake is very well suited as a quiet sport recreational fishery for small boats such as canoes, kayaks, and other carry-in watercraft. The fishery here is receiving more activity because of the beauty of the area and the outstanding fishery," end quote. The DNR is proposing to gate all vehicle access to the lakeshore. Anglers and boaters would then need to walk or carry their watercraft 600 feet from the parking area to the lake's access site.
In Marquette, the Citizens for Peace and Justice came together this past Saturday for an International Day of Action to protest against the new war in the Middle East. This peaceful protest is taking place due to recent sanctions on Iran and tensions grow in the Middle East. Members of the group told the public to encourage senators to pass the War Powers Resolution, saying, quote, "Call their legislators and let them know they do not want war with Iran," end quote. For more information, go to www.codepink.org. And the Michigan State Police of the 8th District Marijuana and Tobacco Investigation Section executed 3 search warrants for an unlicensed marijuana dispensary in Menominee. The unlicensed dispensary had marijuana products such as THC cartridges and marijuana edibles seized by the police with a current amount of $271,000. The 8th District of Police also seized the personal property with over $300,000 and $54,000 in cash. And after the break, we'll be back with your national and international news. Stay tuned.
Urban Southern whites with Puerto Ricans and blacks.
Housing issues, police brutality. That's what we could all agree on, was for those neighborhoods to come together.
That was the beauty of it. The world was on fire and we were part of that flame.
We're going to fight racism, not racism, but we're going to fight with solidarity.
It's the Rainbow Coalition, but it doesn't matter what color you were us with pride.
The first Rainbow Coalition.
Tonight at 10 on WNMU TV.
Welcome back to Public Eye News. Police and the FBI are involved in a bizarre missing children's case out of Idaho. A search warrant was executed yesterday at the Kauai Beach Resort in Kauai, Hawaii. Lori Vowell and her husband, Chad Daybell, parents of the missing children, have been staying there. They were not arrested, but their rental car was seized in the search. Her 2 children, 17-year-old Tylee Ryan and 7-year-old Joshua Vowell, mysteriously disappeared at the end of September in 2019. Daybell's ex-wife died a mysterious death in October. It is not known how long Vowell and Daybell have been in Kauai, but the investigation is still ongoing. Democrats are ratcheting up upped the pressure for former National Security Advisor John Bolton to testify at President Trump's impeachment trial in the wake of a new report about Bolton's book. Skylar Henry has the latest from Capitol Hill.
President Trump is denying a claim his former National Security Advisor John Bolton made about aid to Ukraine.
I can tell you nothing was ever said to John Bolton, but I have not seen a manuscript. I guess he's writing a book. I have not seen it.
According to the New York Times, Bolton writes in his upcoming book that the president told him he wanted to continue freezing $391 million in security assistance to Ukraine until officials there helped with investigations into Democrats, including the Bidens. It comes as lawyers for the president resume their defense in the impeachment trial.
We do not deal with speculation, allegations that are not based on evidentiary standards at all.
Democrats immediately insisted Bolton be called as a witness.
We have a witness with first-hand evidence of the president's actions for which he is on trial. How can Senate Republicans not vote to call that witness?
4 Republicans would have to break ranks to join Democrats voting to call new witnesses. At least one of them seems open to it.
I think at this stage it's pretty fair to say that John Bolton has a relevant testimony to provide to those of us who are sitting in impartial justice.
Bolton has already told lawmakers he is willing to testify. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
An earthquake struck eastern Turkey this past Saturday. The death toll currently stands at 22 people, with more than 1,000 people injured. Rescue workers are still currently searching for more people buried in the rubble. As of now, 39 people have been rescued from the rubble of the collapsed buildings. Mosques, schools, sports halls, and student dormitories have opened up for those who currently do not have a home. And 75 years after the liberation of the largest Nazi death camp, remaining survivors of the Holocaust gathered at Auschwitz along with world leaders. CBS's Ian Lee has the journey of one survivor.
The last time Yvonne Engelman walked these roads, she was just a teenager. But memories from her time at the death camp are still fresh.
Today, standing here, after all the years, it's very painful.
Her parents were among more than 1 million people murdered at Auschwitz, part of Nazi leader Adolf Hitler's final solution during World War II. She escaped the gas chamber because of a malfunction, or as she calls it, a miracle.
We could hear children coughing, crying, choking from the gas.
75 years after Soviet troops liberated Auschwitz, survivors laid a wreath at the Wall of Death, where Nazis executed thousands of prisoners. But most people were killed in gas chambers before their bodies were incinerated in the camp's ovens. Brick buildings and smokestacks still stand as reminders. Engelman says lessons from the Holocaust are still relevant. With a recent surge of anti-Semitism in the U.S. and around the world, she has a message for today's generation.
If they see something is not right, to stand up and voice their opinion and never, never hate.
Timeless wisdom from someone who witnessed the worst of humanity. Ian Lee, CBS News, London.
And after the break, we'll be back with your weather and sports. Stay tuned.
On American Experience.
America was the Wild West for putting all kinds of chemicals into food.
Before Weigly, there was nobody testing to see whether something was harmful or not.
The Poison Squad was a way of getting public attention for safe food legislation.
You have 12 young men eating poison for the people of the United States.
The Poison Squad on American Experience.
Tuesday night at 9 on WNMU TV.
Welcome back to Public Eye News. I am Joseph Sigourney here with your weather report. Currently, classes are winding down and it's a bit overcast here on the NMU campus. Moving into current conditions, right now it's cloudy with a temperature of 30 degrees, winds north at 12 miles per hour, and the barometric pressure is 30 inches and falling. Moving into tonight, it'll be cloudy with a low of 24 degrees and winds northwest at 9 miles per hour. Tomorrow we can expect a little bit of morning snow and also cloudy throughout the day with a high of 28 degrees and winds north at 10 miles per hour. And current temperatures around the UP in Sault Ste. Marie, 32 degrees, Manistique, 33, Escanaba, 34, Menominee, 33. Moving on to the western side in Iron Mountain, 31, Ironwood, 30, Houghton, 28, and back here in Marquette, 30 degrees. And looking ahead, on Wednesday, 27, cloudy with a low of 21. Thursday, high of 31 degrees, partly cloudy with a low of 23. And Friday, partly cloudy with a high of 32 and a low of 28. And Ross, that's about all I have for weather. And I know that some unfortunate news has happened with sports.
Some sad and unfortunate news indeed. Yesterday, NBA legend Kobe Bryant and his daughter Gianna were among 9 people who died in a California helicopter crash yesterday. Kobe and Gianna Bryant were on their way to Gianna's youth basketball game when the helicopter crashed. Bryant was only 41 years old and his daughter was just 13 years old. This news sent shockwaves throughout the basketball world as current and former players took to social media to remember the Lakers legend. Former teammates and coaches like Shaquille O'Neal, Phil Jackson, who Kobe won multiple NBA championships with, as well as other NBA legends and league officials were like Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, and Adam Silver, all voiced their grief and sent condolences. Across the NBA, teams voluntarily took 24 second violations and 8 second violations to remember Kobe, who wore both the numbers 28 and 24 during his legendary career. Atlanta Hawks' Trae Young, who idolized Kobe growing up, switched his jersey number from the usual 11 to the number 28 for the team's game yesterday against the Washington Wizards. Dallas Mavericks owner Mark Cuban announced that his team would be retiring Kobe's number 24 jersey, despite Kobe never playing for the Mavericks. Kobe retired after 20 seasons with the Los Angeles Lakers back in 2016, and did so as the NBA's 3rd all-time leading scorer, a milestone surpassed by LeBron James on Saturday. Kobe was best known for his skill on the court and his ability to score at will, but since the retirement, Kobe continued to inspire basketball players everywhere, as stories of his legendary work ethic began to spread. After basketball, Kobe won an Academy Award in 2018 for his animated short, Dear Basketball, and even launched a children's book series that would become a New York Times bestseller. And the NMU hockey team rebounded nicely this weekend as they play their weekend series at the Alaska Fairbanks for a victory and a tie. In Friday's matchup, the two teams got out to hot starts in the first period, with both scoring 3 goals. The Wildcats struck first at the second to take 4-3 lead, but surrendered a power play goal just over a minute into the third to even the game at 4-4. That would close out the scoring. On Saturday, however, the Wildcats closed out the contest strong, scoring 2 goals in the final period, holding off the Nanooks to secure a 4-2 victory. The Wildcats are now in 3rd place at the WCHA and will be returning home this weekend for a series in Ferris State. Well, we have some unfortunate and cloudy news in sports, but I heard we just have a same old story down in Florida.
Oh yeah, if you thought a new season of Public Eye News would keep us away from Florida stories, well, guess again, because a Florida man tried to evade capture by being dressed as the Easter Bunny. So a year ago, this man became an internet sensation after he fought a man on the street in his Easter Bunny costume. Well, earlier this month, he was driving a motorcycle when he ran a stop sign and crashed into a carport before fleeing the scene. Deputies went to the man's house to find him hiding in his costume, denying the crash, and he was, of course, arrested. And moving west to, and that's all the time we have here on Public Eye News. I am Joseph Sigourney.
I'm Ross Ray, and tune in tomorrow for some more Public Eye News.
The preceding program was produced by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television, in studios located in Elizabeth and Edgar Hardin Hall.